An example of interdependence is imports and import payments. Without New Zealand importing goods and services, import payments would not exist.
This means that the amount of money you pay, you get the exact amount in return. So it is equal. So you give, you get, you give, you get, and so on. The financial sector relies on households for savings, so they have funds to lend out. The household sector relies on the financial sector to provide them with loans for spending.
The government relies on households to pay them income tax, so the government has money to spend on public goods and services, e.g. healthcare. Households rely on the government to provide them with public goods and services and benefits if they are needed. The overseas sector relies on the firms to export the goods and services they need, e.g. New Zealand exports milk and dairy products to the countries that don't have them or need them. In return, New Zealand firms rely on the overseas sector to pay for the milk and dairy products. This is known as export receipts.
The households supply the firms with the resources for goods and services, e.g. their labour, and in return, the productive sector pays them factor incomes, wages. When the exchange rate is high, $1 New Zealand for $1 Australian dollar, New Zealand exports bottles of wine to Australia for the cost of $10 per bottle. The Australians buy the bottle of wine for the same price and place it on the shelves next to the Australian-made wine. When the exchange rate is high, $1 New Zealand for $1 Australian dollar, New Zealand exports bottles of wine to Australia for the same cost, $10 per bottle. The Australians buy the bottle of wine for the same price and place it on the shelves next to the Australian-made wine. What will the Australians buy? Well, who knows, because both bottles of wine are being sold for $10. There is no way to tell which one will sell more. Now let's say that the exchange rate is low, which means there is a weak New Zealand dollar. $1 New Zealand equals 70 Australian cents. The wine is now purchased for $7 Australian instead of $10, meaning that when the wine is placed on the shelves in stores, Australians will buy the New Zealand wine because it is $7 as opposed to the $10 Australian wine. Interest rates are the proportion of a loan or mortgage that is charged as an interest rate to the borrower. When the interest rate is low, less people putting money into savings and are therefore spending more. On the other hand, households are paying off a loan will not have to pay as much as the percentage of money to pay back is lower. When the interest rate is high, more people are putting money into savings and spending less because they are earning more interest on those savings. However, this is bad for people borrowing money because the percentage of interest to pay back on their loan is higher. The bathtub model is a great way to display economic growth. The injections, water flowing into the bathtub, include investment in firms, government expenditure, export receipts, and the consumption in households and the leakages. Water going down the drain include tax paid to the government, import payments, and savings from the households. When there is a high concentration of injections and less leakages, there is more GDP, leading to economic growth. The water rises. As long as injections are greater than the leakages, the economy will grow.